Well, that right behind me is a panel, stain panel, the panel that will eventually be there. So I'll walk you through what I've done. This is a temporary setup, but that panel is fitting perfectly. Really pleased with that. That backing board is supposed to be there. That's where the cabinet's going to go. I'll eventually paint that, but that's all hidden by the cabinet. And it's only $8 a sheet instead of $24 a sheet for the maple. So I've got one coat of maple, or excuse me, one coat of stain on there. I might sand that down and put another coat of polyurethane on that. But this was a bit of a job today. So you see how this panel, I cut it long. I was explaining that last time. But what I'll do is I'll take a router and route it along here rather than try to cut it perfectly before hanging the sheet. So I saw that trick on YouTube. A couple of people did that, and I really like that. The only thing is I gotta get a router. So let's see. I started working on this side. I took down the old panel, which is trashed over there. And as I took down the old panel, I started realizing some of the boards were really rotted right where I needed to put the screw in. So like this board, it looked okay when I was looking at it, but as I pulled the panel off, I could just see that bottom part was just rotted. And so at that point, I had to pull it. I pulled several pieces. I pulled out around the window here, or these pieces here, this piece here, this crossbar. Put it back in. I made sure this is where the window will go right here. Made sure that's still square, 18 3/4. And you can see I put my notes up there. And really taking lots of notes and lots of pictures, trying to make sure that I can put it back together. Putting lots of pocket holes in the old wood, but you can see how that piece, this is an example. That piece is rotted right there at the end. I did get one screw in, but this piece really has no significant meaning. But what I'll eventually do is I'll probably just put a sister board right next to that. And then down here, I did put in a piece of wood right here because the ends of this board and this board were just rotted. But this one would not have been too bad to replace, and who knows, maybe I'll still do that before the day's over. But this board runs all the way up to the top, and the wood is all good. And problem is sometimes as I start taking out these staples, I end up doing more damage to the existing wood, and then I end up having to replace more. So I'm trying this right now, and I'm going to see how this works. You can even see here, as I try to put in another screw here, that part of the wood just broke away again. But this has to be weight bearing, and that's resting on this new board right here, which I pocket hold here. I screwed it into the skirt board. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. What I'm going to do next is sink a couple of carriage bolts. I'll drill some screws in and put those in there, and then I'm going to feel pretty good that I got this side up. Now, I don't know if I'm going to leave this panel in because this is really have very little support all the way around. I want to make sure that a good wind doesn't catch this side and blow it all over. So I may take it down. I've got it hanging right now with just some clamps. And so I just wanted to make sure that I could get it in the way I wanted to get it in. So, but now I have done that, and I'm feeling really good about that. So, all right, so I'm gonna do some cleanup. I'm going to check a couple of more boards, trying to keep the side square. I do have some plumb lines dropped there, and trying to keep it reasonably square right now, or vertical, and then when I start putting on the back, now that's when I really need to make sure that that everything's squared up really nice. Got a little cleanup in here, lots of nails, lots of screws, and oh yeah, I can tell that the previous owner did try to do some repairs, and it looks like he only did the repairs from inside, because he removed the panel that was probably there and put in a new panel. He glued it in and used some pretty heavy-duty staples with his air pressure a little high, because he really drove those staples a little too deep into the frame. And so that was a bit of a pain to get off. The problem is that he never fixed, or whoever owned it before, never fixed what the source of the problem was, which would have been the leak coming in from the outside. So now that I start working the skins back on, I'll be able to fix that leak and seal it up really nice, so then I should not be getting water damage in at all. All right, that's the update.